Africa, a continent of vibrant cultures, resilient people, and inspiring women. Africa is rising, and at the heart of this transformation are women bold, visionary, and unstoppable. For centuries, they have been the backbone of families, communities, and nations. But today, they are stepping into the spotlight like never before. From politics to entrepreneurship, activism to education, these women are rewriting the narrative. They are not waiting for permission. They are taking charge, breaking barriers, and creating new possibilities for the next generation. This is more than a story of success. It is a movement of empowerment, resilience, and change. It is about women who dared to dream, who fought against the odds, and who are shaping the future of Africa. Welcome to Dear Daughter podcast with Mariam. Welcome to Empowering African Women, a documentary celebrating the achievements of remarkable women from across the continent. From politics to entrepreneurship, these role models are inspiring a new generation of leaders. Introduction to the role models. Meet our role models, women who have broken barriers and achieved greatness in their respective fields. Dr. Joyce Banda, former president of Malawi, who fought for women's rights and education. I believe that education is the key to unlocking the potential of African women.
It's heavy, but I'm able to carry it. Why? Because I'm an African woman. An African woman carries heavy loads. Anyway, that's how we are trained. We are brought up that nothing is unbearable.
Yara El-Sherbini, Egyptian entrepreneur and founder of the African Women's Entrepreneurship Program. I want to empower women to take control of their economic destiny.
I was really passionate about making art that was accessible and using accessible formats. Was that I think a lot of contemporary art has a language somehow that doesn't engage an audience. There's a formality to it, or almost a language that an audience believe they need to understand to be able to engage with artworks. I'm interested in how we can make work that doesn't make people feel intimidated, but engages people, draws people in, and asks them to participate.
Dr. Gozi Okonjo-Iweala, Nigerian economist and former managing director of the World Bank. I believe that African women can drive economic growth and development.
I think you would be missing a considerable amount of innovation, creativity, and input when you leave women out. They bring solutions just as men do.
The narrative of a rising Africa is being challenged. About 10 years ago, I spoke about an Africa of hope and opportunity, an Africa of entrepreneurs, an Africa very different from the Africa that you normally hear about of death, poverty, and disease. And that, what I spoke about, became part of what is known now as the narrative of the rising Africa.
Mentoring and empowerment. Mentorship is a critical component of empowering African women. Our role models are paying it forward, inspiring and guiding the next generation of leaders. Aisha Yesufu, Nigerian activist and co-founder of the Bring Back Our Girls movement. I believe that mentorship is essential for building confidence and leadership skills in young women. Mimi Kalinda, Congolese entrepreneur and founder of the African Women's Business Network. I want to create opportunities for women to connect, learn, and grow.
How do we approach communications in 54 different countries that are so different? This application of a blanket approach to an entire continent just simply doesn't work. Doing work in Francophone Africa is completely different to Anglophone, Lusophone. I was born in the Congo, in Kinshasa. People who live in Kinshasa speak a different language, have different cultural sensibilities than people who live on the east of the DRC, for example, closer to Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi. So the way that you approach even one country is going to be so varied and so diverse. So how much more for a whole continent? One of the things that I always tell my clients is building relationships beyond screens.
Overcoming challenges. African women face numerous challenges, from poverty and inequality to violence and discrimination. Our role models have overcome incredible obstacles to achieve their goals. Fatoumata Ba, Senegalese entrepreneur and founder of the women's empowerment organization, Femmes à Développement. I believe that resilience and determination are key to overcoming adversity.
What would you do if you were not afraid? And I was always so clear on having my own answer, which is, if I wasn't afraid, I will go and chase my dreams to leverage technology, deliver impact while being successful and making money, returning the money to investors, hopefully.
Nompengelo Makachwa, South African activist and president of the African National Congress Women's League. I want to create a world where women are equal and empowered.
Rights begin. Human rights begin when the majority of the people are able to live those rights.
Impact and legacy. Our role models are making a lasting impact in their communities, inspiring change and driving progress. Wanjira Maathai, Kenyan environmentalist and vice president of the Green Belt movement. I believe that African women can drive sustainable development and environmental conservation.
Today, as a human family, we do find ourselves facing the greatest challenge of our time, the climate crisis. We are at once faced by uncertainty, inequity, and urgency like never before. And to make it through all of this, our narrative has to start with this reality that people, poverty, and inequality have got to be at the center, at the heart of how we meet this moment.
Graham Achel, Mozambican politician and humanitarian, and former First Lady of Mozambique and South Africa. I've dedicated my life to promoting women's rights and education. I want to leave a legacy of empowerment and equality for African women.
Tradition has developed a series of practices which over time have become beliefs, which in essence, they put women in a position of inferiority. They put women in relationship within the family, within the community, within the nation at large, in a relationship of power, instead of relationship of equality, of mutual acceptance, of building on the strengths of every single individual in the family. Tradition has developed a sort of hierarchy in the relationship between men and women, and that leads to discrimination. That's why girls are the last to go to school. That's how girls' parents believe.
These extraordinary women are more than just role models. They are the architects of a brighter future. Through resilience, innovation, and leadership, they continue to break barriers and inspire generations to come. But the journey doesn't end here. Every voice matters in the movement for empowerment. Whether through mentorship, advocacy, or support, we all have a role to play in shaping a more inclusive and equal future for African women. Join us in celebrating these achievements, share their stories, support women-led initiatives, and be part of the change. Together, we can create a world where every African woman has the opportunity to thrive.
To younger women, my call to action to you is nothing will be handed to you on a platter. You've got to fight for it. You've got to make it work. You've got to go for it. Be yourself, be confident, and know that the experiences you're going through are not peculiar to you. One of the best things about the book that we wrote is showing other women that even women in high leadership positions go through some of these same experiences. They don't go away, but knowing that other women go through it helps when you're a younger woman. So my call to action is seize the moment, be yourself, move forward.
Education, even skilled women, sometimes it's not sufficient for them to take control to the point where they say, I'm not going to allow myself to do this. So I'm not minimizing the importance of education. I'm saying if we don't go and understand the other underlying factors, which can be called traditional or whatever, I hate to call them cultural, because I don't think culture in any place is oppressive. Culture always elevates all of us. That's culture. But the traditions, yes, tradition can be oppressive, and they are oppressive.
Recognition that women in leadership is no longer just words. There are a lot of women, especially African women, who are finding themselves in places of leadership. Well, I think historically women have just been excluded. We are not at the table when decisions are being made on boards or in the top leadership. We often have responsibility without authority, is what I say. And so this is what has to change. But I think also because of the historical exclusion of women, there's also been somewhat of an acquiescence. Women often don't put themselves forward for leadership. I've seen that most recently in our politics, where you have clear provisions, legal provisions for women to be in leadership. And it's difficult sometimes to find women to run for office. I've seen it in community leadership at the Greenbelt movement, where women were often always the only group members, and so the leadership of the governance of those groups was often women. So women were the chair, they were the secretary, they were the treasurer. But as soon as one man entered the group and they became, a more integrated group, when they picked the leader, they would often always pick the man.